Now that it's officially been announced that Manny Pacquiao is going to fight Ugás, and that Errol Spence is going to fight the winner of Ugás versus Pacquiao, I've got a feeling. It's not a strong feeling, but I've got a bit of a feeling that Pacquiao might lose to Ugás. Now, the possibilities of this happening, I still think Pacquiao is the favourite to win the fight, because he's just a more esteemed fighter than Ugás ever was. He's accomplished a lot more than Ugás ever did. But in my opinion, Pacquiao's obviously he's going to have to switch opponents fundamentally from Spence and Ugás. Both fighters are complete opposites of each other. If you look at Spence is a pressure fighter who likes to hold the centre of the ring and is very technically brilliant. He doesn't have the speed and power of a Pacquiao, but he is quite brilliant technically, and he likes to grind you down and beat you that way. Well, if you look at an Ugás is like an Olympian, Cuban Olympian type, slick southpaw type fighter. So he's a fundamentally different type of opponent than Errol Spence is. So in my opinion, obviously I feel like there's a very good chance that Ugás could be a banana skin that stops the Errol Spence versus Pacquiao fight from happening. I just feel like he's stylistically so different from Errol Spence, and on top of that, if you look at it from the perspective that Ugás is actually a fighter that it's a very short turnaround time from it's literally 2 weeks away. The fight was between Errol Spence and Pacquiao, so he's got 2 weeks left, and he's going to completely fundamentally change who he's going to fight in terms of his game plan. Everything that he done in training camp, he's going to completely revamp it, and he's going to fight an opponent that's completely different from the opponent he was going to fight, which was obviously Errol Spence. So in my opinion, there's a lot of things going on here, and it's a very quick turnaround time, and there could be a chance that if Ugás doesn't beat him, he at least gives him a very good fight, and he at least makes it quite difficult for him. There was obviously a very good chance that Pacquiao just beats him decisively, because Pacquiao's obviously a legend. But here you got a fighter that's here you got a fight in Pacquiao who's 43 years old. He's coming off a 2-3 year layoff. He was preparing for one opponent, which was Errol Spence, who stylistically is completely different from Ugás. Now, a week and a half away from the fight, he's going to completely switch styles and prepare for an opponent that's completely different from Errol Spence. And this is all very short notice, and is very much a very difficult situation, to say the least. Imagine for 3-4 months you've been preparing for one opponent, and then all of a sudden it's been switched and you're fighting a completely different opponent. I'm just saying, like, even though Pacquiao's a legend, there's a certain style that he doesn't seem to mesh with, and one of them styles is, like, if you look at Juan Manuel Marquez, he was a slick counter puncher who knew how to move on the back foot and fight him like that. If you look at Mayweather was a slick orthodox fighter who was a defensive genius. Pacquiao lost against both of them opponents. I'm not saying Ugás is as good as them two, he's not, but stylistically he's a very, very difficult opponent. Very difficult and different opponent to Errol Spence, and quite different to the opponent that he was expecting as well. So in my opinion, it's not ideal for Pacquiao for this particular fight to happen, and I think Ugás could be a banana skin for him, but there could be a chance that Pacquiao beats him as well quite decisively. So yeah, either possibility doesn't surprise me, because obviously Pacquiao is a legend. There used to be an opponent at featherweight that I think would have beaten Pacquiao, and his name was called Zahir Rahim. I think he fought Eric Morales and he beat him, and he was a slick southpaw Olympian, and Pacquiao never fought the guy. And in my opinion, back in his featherweight run, obviously he became a lot better since then, back in his featherweight run, I always had the feeling that Zahir Rahim would actually beat Pacquiao. I always had that feeling. Just stylistically, I always thought it would be a difficult matchup for Pacquiao. Ironically, the same thing is happening now at welterweight. He's fighting a slick southpaw who's Cuban, who's got very good boxing fundamentals and is very slick. And I feel like he'll be a difficult opponent for Pacquiao if Pacquiao does choose to fight him. So yeah, that's just my opinion. Tell me your opinion. Do you think there's a possibility that Ugás can be a banana skin for Pacquiao? Or do you think Pacquiao's just going to run through him like he usually does most of his opponents? What do you think? Do you think we're ever going to see Errol Spence and Pacquiao fight let's just say hypothetically Pacquiao gets past this fight, do you think that fight will ever happen, or do you think something else will get in the way of it happening? I'm just like everyone else. I'm hugely disappointed that we didn't get to see the Pacquiao versus Errol Spence fight. It's the one fight I was very much looking forward to. But this is boxing. Until they both get into the ring, you can never be sure if they're going to fight. So, yeah, that's my opinion. Tell me your opinion and like and subscribe to the channel. I've got a lot more content coming your way. Peace out.